Hey viewers, welcome to my channel. Today, after a long time, I have brought to you a very crucial subject regarding Phalaenopsis orchids and regarding orchids in general. This is about crown rot in Phalaenopsis orchids. In our journey of growing orchids, we all must have encountered crown rot in not only a single orchid but in multiple orchids. Initially, in my initial days of starting orchids, I encountered this problem multiple number of times. I lost many orchids, I lost a lot of money, but now over a period of 10 plus years of growing orchids, I have come to know about the solution of this problem. Before going to the solution of crown rot, we let us just make a brush up of what care does Phalaenopsis orchids need. I have already told about the general care of Phalaenopsis orchids in a previous video. Please look into it. Here we will just brush up the general care point wise, how we should take care of Phalaenopsis orchids. In general, Phalaenopsis orchids are a bit sensitive as compared to other orchids. Regarding water, we need to be very careful in Phalaenopsis orchids. Phalaenopsis orchids require medium amount of water, and we should always keep checking the media in which the Phalaenopsis orchid is growing. In general, it needs a coarse medium including bark pieces, charcoal pieces, and a bit of sphagnum moss or any water retaining media. So the crucial thing, the culprit that causes crown rot in Phalaenopsis orchids is overwatering. This is a thing that we all do. Generally, what we do is, if we see the weather is very hot or we see the medium is a bit, we have spent 2-3 days without watering our Phalaenopsis orchids, we tend to water them without checking the media or even checking the amount of the leaves shriveled or not. We usually do not check. What we see is that we have not watered the orchid, so let us water it. This is a very wrong thing. While watering Phalaenopsis orchids, we should always check the medium, whether it is wet or dry or brittle or any sort of watering. Anything before doing watering, we should always check the medium, whether it is dry or not. If the medium is dry, then only we should water it. When we overwater the Phalaenopsis orchids, the amount of water that is being taken up by the orchid is less than the amount of water that is in the medium. So what happens is that water seeps in through the roots to the crown and starts decomposing it. There is accumulation of water in the leaves, in the crown, in the roots, and this causes a devastating effect on the Phalaenopsis orchid. Slowly the water starts to decompose the crown, and after that it gradually moves upward to decompose the leaves. The leaf starts gathering water, it will show signs of water, and it will be very watery, very plumpy with water, and this is a very sign of crown rot in Phalaenopsis orchids. Crown rot occurs in other orchids as well, like Vanda orchids or say Dendrobium orchids, but it is very common in Phalaenopsis orchids, and it is the main cause of losing Phalaenopsis orchids in general. I have lost many Phalaenopsis orchids due to crown rot before. So what is the remedy for crown rot? First of all, we need to be over vigilant while watering Phalaenopsis orchids. Always check the medium in which the Phalaenopsis orchid is growing. First of all, grow them in a very coarse medium. Just I said, grow them in bark or some coarse medium like charcoal, brick pieces, and a bit of water retaining media, because Phalaenopsis orchids also need water, but always in medium quantity. And always check the medium, whether it is dry, whether it is wet, whether it is a rainy day, whether it is a dry day. Always check these conditions before watering the Phalaenopsis orchids, and do not allow water to stay in the medium for a very long time. If you are soaking the pot in water, just soak them in 15 minutes and you are good to go. You have seen my previous Phalaenopsis orchids which had crown rot and which have survived. I lost two Phalaenopsis orchids in the last year due to crown rot. Somehow they went unnoticed, and I was successful in reviving the rest of the Phalaenopsis orchids from crown rot. They are growing very nicely. They are growing new leaves and as vigorously as the previous one. One of the Phalaenopsis orchids, the mother plant died off, and it produced a kiki, basil kiki, and it has bloomed last year. You have seen it in my video of Phalaenopsis orchid care. So timely intervention and observation is very, very crucial in case of Phalaenopsis orchids. And crown rot, you can prevent crown rot by keeping vigilant on the Phalaenopsis orchids. They need less amount of water than your Vanda orchids or Cattleya orchids. Always keep them on the drier side. Grow them in a coarse medium, and hopefully you will never get crown rot in your Phalaenopsis orchids. Just as I always say, Phalaenopsis orchids always need a bit of extra care than your other orchids, and they will grow happily in your environment. That was all for crown rot in Phalaenopsis orchids today. I will bring another video on crown rot of Vanda orchids, because recently I have lost one Vanda orchid due to crown rot, but nevertheless it is growing something new, something very special, which I will show you. And please do let me know if how many orchids have you lost due to crown rot in general, or crown rot in Phalaenopsis orchids. I will be waiting for your comments. Please give it a like, give this video a like, and do subscribe to my channel. Keep watching my videos. There are lots and lots of useful videos in my channel. Please check out those videos. There are videos on other type of orchids as well, and hopefully you are growing your orchids very nicely. Please let me know how many orchids you have been growing over the last how many years you have been growing, and thank you for watching.